guys, welcome back to Star TV. On today's lovely episode, we're going to be talking about how your enemies want to provoke you so you get dethroned. Right before we get into today's lovely video, make sure you guys subscribe to Star TV where you get a new episode every week. Make sure you guys like this video, drop a comment down below, let's start know what you think, and be sure to hit that bell down below and press all so you will be notified each and every time Star posts a new video. Let's get into it. So you guys, this word was given to me by God based off a real life situation that I just went through. And I just received the download that your enemies want to provoke you so you get dethroned. Now let's get into tip number one. Some people get a rise out of seeing you upset. And it's so unfortunate that we live in a world where when you are successful, when you are shining, when you are in your lane and you are prospering, doing what God has called you to do, there are some people that are so bothered by you. It could be the presence of God that you carry, or it could be your personality, your charisma, how you carry yourself. It could be your joy, your smile. Sometimes just you stepping into a room is enough to make people angry, and that is without cause. You ever come across people who are angry with you, people who hate you for no reason? Sometimes it's because they are a hidden enemy. And so what people like this do when they already don't like you, they want to see you upset. They want to see you without joy. They don't want to see you happy. They want to see you bothered. And how do they bother you? By trying to provoke you. Let me give you guys a backstory. So at my current job, which I love so much, and I'm so thankful to God for, there was this young lady, and this young lady is about 33. She's a mother of two. I'm only 25. So some way, somehow, this girl found out how much I make. She found out my salary. And to my surprise, I make more money than her. And I say that humbly. Now, this young lady found out my salary and she was very upset. And because she was so upset, she would talk to other people about this and discuss this, saying how she believed it's not fair. And on top of that, you guys, she would go from being a nice person to me to being very rude, very passive aggressive, very mean, very cold, and very angry. And so there was some adamant tension between us, but it was coming from her. So this particular Monday morning, I'm going in because we're all having a conference meeting. It's like professional development week. And I sit next to her because on my end, I'm good. I know why she's upset, but I'm not talking about it with her because she doesn't know that I know, but I overheard her. You feel me? So, I'm having a good day, and then all of a sudden, I'm going out for my lunch break, and mind you, she's like 34, right? I have a sister who's about that age, I could be her little sister. She's like, "Oh, Star, are you going out to eat for lunch?" And I'm thinking, what's she asking me all these questions for? Acting like she rock with me like that. It's not like I'm going out to eat with you. Oh, mind your business, girl. But I just say, yeah, I'm going out to eat. And she says, "Star, come to my classroom when you get back." I'm in my head. I'm like, who is this girl talking to? So at that point, I just had to zip it. I didn't say nothing to her. I just walked right past her because you are giving me a command and a demand as if you are my boss, and you are far from being the boss. If we really being real. So I come back from my lunch break and I'm downstairs and I see her. She's like, "Were you looking for me?" And she had a smirk on her face. I said no. And I went upstairs to my classroom because I take care of newborn babies. It's a school, but they have infants, newborns, 2 and 3 year olds, 4-year-olds. And so I'm stationed with the newborns because that's what I chose to do. And this girl, mind you, the kids are not there yet. This girl follows me all the way from the cafeteria upstairs, comes into my classroom. Mind you, the kids are not there yet. They're on break. She comes into my classroom, locks me in the room, puts the lock on the door, and says, "I just feel like there's some tension and da da da." But the way that her energy presented itself, It felt like, being that she was so out of breath and so anxious, I could feel that she was fearful. It felt like she really wanted to fight, but she was waiting for me to say the wrong thing. Like, she caught herself pressing me. And you know what I do at that moment? I just excuse myself and I kindly walk out of the room. And since I'm still on lunch break, you know, I'm able to exit the building and take a walk. I had to take a walk. And then, you know, God spoke to me and he made me realize your enemies want to provoke you so that you will get dethroned, so that they can knock you off of your throne. The assignment of that particular woman was to provoke me so I get angry and exchange words with her, and then it becomes physical, and then I lose my job. So I don't know who I'm talking to out there. I don't know what you may be going through, whether it's in your home or within your friendships or at a workplace. Don't allow anybody to get a rise out of you. Every time this woman would see me become angry, I noticed she would smirk and laugh. She was getting a rise off of me becoming angry. And listen, we don't have to stoop low, because the people that are trying to make us stoop low are already very far beneath us. Don't let nobody make you act no other than yourself. Don't let nobody trigger you to a point where you are cursing them out, where you're becoming ratchet and ghetto, where you're screaming, where you're almost about to fight somebody. Imagine me fighting someone in their 30s, and a mother at that. And then imagine a 30-year-old, a 33-year-old woman being so pressed, stressed, and depressed that a 25-year-old who went to school and got her education is making more money than her. At the end of the day, everybody makes their own life choices. And I chose to focus on my education, and that's not my fault. So a lot of people are motivated by envy and jealousy, and they want to get a rise out of you. They want to provoke you, so they knock you off your throne, so you lose what God gave you. They want to provoke you so that you lose not only your income, but your reputation. It's time we be smart and we learn, you know, the tactics of the enemy. Let's get into tip number 2. The Bible says, do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. You guys, I know what it's like to be upset. When I'm mad, I get really angry. And sometimes you can become so mad where the only possible way for you to feel better is if you release that anger by like hitting somebody, punching something, or throwing something. That's when you're really, really, really angry. And I just don't think that we should let people who don't love themselves, people who don't even wish us well, bring that out of us. We all know it's not a sin to be angry, but the things that our anger will cause us to do will be sinful. Like stabbing somebody and you kill them, you know, that's murder, that's a sin. And at the end of the day, I don't know about you guys, but I can't afford to be in jail. I can't afford to go to prison because someone envied me enough to provoke me and want to have an issue with me. So I don't know who I'm talking to out there, but before you react, make sure you think about the consequences. Some people are not worth the argument. Some people are not worth the bitter exchange of words. And some people just want to fight you so they could pull your hair out. You know, some people are just jealous of your beauty. They want to mess your face up. Some people hate you just for being you. So they want to beat you down with their bare hands. And they don't care how bad they look. It's a shame and it's a sad world that we're living in. But remember, when you're angry, it's okay to pray and ask the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, give me strength. Help me to keep my mouth closed and be wise. Help me to monitor my words. These people are really making me so angry. Give me the strength to walk away. Because I'm telling you, when you walk away from people who are bitter, people who want to provoke you, the only thing they can do is sit there and smirk, and you starve them. You know how you starve them? By not giving them a reaction. They're like, man, I mean, I talked to Star and I felt like I pressed her, but she didn't say anything. It confuses them. And in this hour, I just pray that God will confuse our enemies and upset their plans. That's Psalms 55 verse 9, okay? We don't have time for it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm believing God for a beautiful and bright future. And I'm not going to throw that away for someone that views me as a threat. Let's get into tip number 3. Your enemies want to prove a point and make an example out of you. That's why we have to be smart. When a person doesn't like you, what they will do is they will make up stories to tell other people in hopes that they can turn other people against you and get them to feel about you the way that they feel about you. And so if people, say a false report about you and other people, they don't really believe it, or it doesn't make other people hate you, what they will do is they will try to provoke you and start an argument with you. So when you act crazy and you embarrass yourself, they can say, see, I told you she was a problem. I told you she wasn't a nice girl. I told you she was violent. Look, I told you she was ratchet and she pretended to be professional. I told you she had no self-control. I told you she was ghetto. I told you that, she wasn't fit for the position. I knew she wasn't going to be a good worker here. People want to make a point. They want to prove a point. They want to make an example out of you. Don't let people ruin your reputation. Don't give people the power to make you act no other than yourself. Sometimes you shine so bright and people hate that, or you may have things that people wish that they had. Just given the young lady that I'm telling you guys about at the workplace, she grew up, she had a very hard upbringing, and I didn't have that type of upbringing. I was brought up with love, with, family, my real family. I was brought up in church. I was brought up around, good parents. I have amazing siblings, So sometimes when it comes to people who, they taunt you, they try to bully you, they try to bring you down, at this very big age, even over 30, right? We're still acting like we're in high school. You have to overlook that. God has brought you too far to go back to where you came from. And it's bigger than this. Sometimes you just got to look at people as being hurt and wounded. These are people who are hurt and wounded, and they don't have nothing to lose. They don't have the joy that you have. They can't understand why you're happy. They can't understand why you still have a smile on good days and bad days. They don't understand how you can still laugh even when they try to bring you down. They don't understand why you can still sit and upload on YouTube and bring positivity when they've done all they've known to do to destroy you. They don't understand how you escape their plans when their plan was to end you forever. People are lost, but when you have God on your side, you will prevail. Let's get into tip number 4. Wise people walk away. You can't argue with a person who is silent. I know this is hard. I know. I'm the type of girl that, I have a comeback for everything, especially when a lot of people, especially women, like to throw shade. Me, if you know Star, I love to laugh. I love to joke. I'm from New York, so I will, when it's the time, I know how to get you. You know what I'm saying? I know how to get you. I know what to say to get under your skin. But at the same time, we can't always have that spirit of, clapping back. Oh, she throws shade, I'ma throw shade. We got to get rid of that spirit, and we got to learn when to be wise. Your silence will win the case. When you are silent and you let God fight for you, your enemies will be taken down one by one. Oh my goodness. When I tell you that God can handle your enemies better than you can, you better believe it. But your job is to stay silent. So when people text your phone and they try to provoke you, they say negative things about you, or they call themselves checking you, don't text them back. Ignore it. When people are jumping in your face, trying to accuse you, when people are jumping in your face or locking you in a room, trying to provoke you or persuade you out of anger to say the wrong thing so they can put their hands on you, walk away and be silent. You guys, do you know how many people would still be alive today if they were just silent? You guys, do you know how many people to this day would still be alive if they had just walked away? How many people were approached by other men and women who had guns on them, who had knives on them. And had they just been silent and walked away, they could have prevented their death. We live in a world where you don't know what nobody is capable of, even on the trains and the buses. Sometimes you say the wrong thing and you getting stabbed up. Sometimes you say the wrong thing and you're getting harmed, you're getting hurt. You could even lose your life. So I encourage you guys, everybody doesn't deserve a response and everybody doesn't deserve a reply. Sometimes silence is the best answer. Sometimes walking away using wisdom, that could save your life. And you have no idea what would have happened to you had you retaliated and went back and forth with the person. Woo, I feel like this was a word not only for me that I've learned through my very own experience, but for all of you guys. Remember, your enemies don't love you. They don't wish you well. Every enemy in your life or around you, at your workplace, at your school, every enemy, even sometimes within your own home, your own household, they are on an assignment. They are on a mission to knock you off your throne. They want to dethrone you. And one of the ways they know how to do that is by trying to anger you and trigger you so that they can embarrass you, expose you, ruin your reputation, and make you lose everything you worked so hard for. So I love you guys. I hope you could take from this video. Don't let nobody bring you out of characters. Your enemies hate it when you are winning. Continue to pay them dust and soar. And until next time, Star will see you soon. Peace.